So recently there's been, I guess over the course of a few months, there have been a slew of cameras that have come out. We saw cameras by Fujifilm, we saw cameras by Canon, and we also saw cameras by Sony. Now, for a lot of you guys who know me, I'm a Sony shooter right now. This may change in the future, but I don't think it's going to change in the future. One reason, autofocus, but that's not the point of this video. In this video, I've noticed that like a lot of other people who have been contemplating new cameras and contemplating switching over, I've been also contemplating upgrading to the A7C. So for a lot of you guys who know, the A7C is a compact full frame camera that just recently, I think it dropped out sometime this month or late last month. I'll put the, if I can remember, I'll just put it on the screen. So this new camera drops out, and obviously we know of the Fuji X-T4, we know of the Canon R5 and R6, and a slew of other cameras that come out. You guys know that I am shooting right now on the A6600, but I, for a while now, have been thinking to myself, maybe I should upgrade to a full frame. For me, as a video shooter, I want something a little bit more. So if you guys have been following my channel, you'll notice that I started out with the GH5.
So dope. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Gene. I am JAXTWIN. This is my very first YouTube video.
I'll tell you a quick story, and it's something that I'll admit right now in this video. The GH5 was a lot of camera for an amateur like myself. Like at the time, I don't think I'd recommend the GH5 as my first camera. I went out and bought it because I thought it was the best camera, but I didn't also realize that at the time, my proficiency level was 0. So naturally I went to the A6C100 because it was cheaper. Then I flipped over to the A6400 because of the weather sealing and all this other great stuff. I ended up bumping up to the A6600 because of the battery life and because it was literally, I felt in my opinion, it was literally the A6600. I figured, hey, why not pay an extra 300 bucks for, longer battery life and a slew of other features that the A6600 had. With that said, I'm right at this point again where I'm thinking to myself, should I just get the A7C or should I just go ahead and wait? Because I'm looking for a second camera. I'm looking for an A camera. This camera will probably be an overhead camera at some point, but I'm basically trying to decide what full frame camera I should go for. So given that I'm a Sony shooter, I figured I'd like to stay within that same ecosystem. And one of the beauties of the Sony ecosystem is the E-mount. In this case, I would be able to use the same lens that I have on my A6600 on my A7S III. So that's ultimately the camera that I think that I'm going to buy. It seems like no one has the camera, or you literally are going to pre-order the camera and wait. Once I started going back and forth about my decisions to buy the A7S III, I went through other videos, did my research for other cameras like the Fujifilm X-T3, the Fujifilm X-T4, the Canon R5, the Canon R6, and I also went back and checked out some of the other great cameras like the Canon R, the 90D. There's so many other cameras available right now that it's not even funny. Now this right here, for a lot of people who are trying to buy a camera, it's kind of tough. I can certainly sympathize because that's what I'm going through right now. With that said, while doing my research, I landed on a channel, and I'll put up the YouTuber's tutorial channel. Now I guess he does camera tutorials and setup tutorials, and I decided, hey, I'm not gonna give up on this camera because not only do I want to be really good at the camera and learn the camera, but I also want to learn the language. So that way, if I'm talking to someone else that's actually familiar with it, I'm able to understand what they mean. Now, I learned a ton of information. After that video, I said, I'm going to stick around with my A6600 I can bear to wait. I can bear to wait. Before I watched the video and after I watched the video, I came to a couple conclusions. Number one, I'm not as good as I think I am. And I think that's kind of a hard pill to swallow. So just realizing where my skill set is at right now, it was kind of an ego bubble burst, but I think I had to get there. And number two, it just reminded me that the A6600 is still, in my opinion, one of the best YouTube cameras that you can get. Now, this camera itself that I'm shooting on, as I mentioned before, is the A6600. The video literally just got me to a point where I'm like, I have a really good camera. It's just about mastering the camera. So now I feel a little bit more proficient in using the A6600, and it's a camera that I'm definitely gonna stick around with. I would much rather this be my beat camera, and then I still want the A7S3. Don't get me wrong, I still want to get the A7S3, but it just made me realize that I have a really good camera. It's not a perfect camera like a lot of cameras, but it's actually a pretty good camera, and that's it. And then secondly, it was just realizing that this whole time I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm gonna go out and buy a $3,500 camera paired with another $2,500 lens just to think that my videos are gonna get better. And it's kind of ego tripping in a little way, because I feel like when I bought the camera, especially when I started my channel, I bought the camera because I wanted the camera to do 80% of the work, if not 90%, 95% of the work. I just, like the everyday dad, I just want to turn the camera on, say whatever the heck I want to say, and I just want to end the video. And that's just me being straight up with you guys. And it's just me being straight up with you guys. I just don't want to fiddle with camera settings. I don't want to fiddle with aperture, shutter speed, but by saying that, you also kind of disrespect the camera itself. And I'm learning that, and that's partly the way I got to that outcome, that I'm really not a good photographer. I'm really not a good videographer. If these filmmakers are able to make a full-length movie on an iPhone, it's not about the phone, it's more about the skill. So I don't know. It was kind of a hard reality, and it's one of the reasons I will say, if you are like me and you own an A6600 and you're considering buying the A7S or A7C, and you feel that you're making a bit of a stretch for it, hang on a little bit, master the camera that you do have. So I don't know, that's kind of a long answer to why I'm recommending that if you own a Sony 6000 line, or like the A6400, great YouTube camera. A6600, great YouTube camera. And I don't know. So that's the video, guys. If you are new to my channel, my name is Gene, I'm JAXTWIN, and on this channel we talk tech. And if you like this video, or you thought I was kind of rambling on, definitely would love to hear your comments down below. If you are an A6600 shooter, tell me, do you feel the same way? Do you want to upgrade to A7C? Do you want to upgrade to the A7S? And if you guys took away from anything from this video, I would definitely love to hear it down below. And yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, peace.